Welcome to The Explainer. So let's just get right into it. Today, we're tackling what is literally one of the biggest hurdles in modern health: time. I mean, we've all been there, right? Staring at a completely packed calendar and thinking, I just don't have time to work out. But today, we're going to completely flip that mindset. We are exploring this awesome concept we can think of as the pyramid of progression. It's all about moving from I don't have time to I can absolutely optimize whatever time I have. And trust me, by using some really clever, science backed strategies, you can totally transform your fitness without, practically living in the gym. Here's what our pyramid looks like today. First up, the sedentary problem. Then, micro workouts and exercise snacks. Next, we'll look at the 7-minute circuit, followed by EMOM versus AMRAP. Finally, we'll top it all off with the science of volume, and wrap up by redefining your routine.
All right, Section 1, the sedentary problem foundation.
Now, to really frame this problem, I want to share a super relatable story from a recent article in The Guardian. It's about Emma Joyce, a busy professional who challenged herself to what honestly sounds like a super easy task, doing a 3-minute wall sit against the office lockers while she was on a work call. I mean, she probably thought, hey, how hard could it be? Well, as it turns out, less than a minute in, her legs were shaking. By 40 seconds, her heart was just racing. And this brilliantly illustrates a key point. You absolutely do not need a gym or hours of free time to immediately feel the physiological burn of exercise. And this perfectly aligns with what Professor Kathy Sherrington from the University of Sydney points out. She notes that, plain and simple, we are not designed to sit all day long like we do in modern life. To put it in perspective, the World Health Organization currently states that a staggering 1.8 billion people worldwide aren't meeting physical activity guidelines. That is a massive number. So hey, if you're feeling stiff at the end of a long day of desk work, your struggles are 100% validated by the data. The solution here is breaking up that sedentary behavior with micro-movements. Moving on to Section 2, micro-workouts and exercise snacks. Okay, so the magic word here is habit stocking. The idea is that you can sneak these tiny bouts of exercise into 3-minute windows throughout your insanely busy workday, and get this, you do it wearing your everyday clothes. You're making tea or coffee? Do some calf raises while you wait for the kettle to boil. Or simply try balancing on one leg for 10 seconds with your eyes closed, which, by the way, is fantastic for longevity. You could do elevated push-ups against your desk, or even just bang out 50 squats while you're on a camera-off video meeting. Oh, and for the work-from-home folks, if you have a 15-kilogram toddler who refuses to nap, pick them up. Carry them around like a makeshift farmer's carry. It is brilliant strength training. Literally just 5 to 10 seconds of holding that heavy load engages your mid-back and core perfectly. Section 3, the 7-minute circuit. Intense and short. Now, let's step it up a bit and look at a specific sequence designed by the American College of Sports Medicine. The flow is super intentional. It moves from aerobic to lower body to upper body and then to core. So for instance, you'd go from jumping jacks straight into a wall sit, then drop down for push-ups and finish with abdominal crunches. This sequence isn't just random, it's highly strategic. It actually allows one major muscle group to rest and recover while a completely different one is working its tail off. It maximizes your physiological benefits in just a tiny amount of time. And the best part? You can do this right in a small office space with just a chair and a wall. But here is the catch. To get the really profound health benefits from this, things like reducing insulin resistance and safely elevating your heart rate, you can't just go through the motions. You really have to push your exertion to an 8 out of 10 effort level. You're working intensely for 30 seconds, and you rest for exactly 10 seconds before hitting the next exercise. It is vigorous, it's fast, and it demands your focus. But hey, it is over in literally just 7 minutes. All right, Section 4, EMOM versus AMRAP, structured programming. If you have ever set foot in a functional fitness class, you've definitely heard these acronyms, but knowing how to actually utilize them correctly, that's vital for your time efficiency. First up is EMOM, which stands for every minute on the minute. This one is all about pure strength and neural drive. It targets your fast twitch fibers and that explosive ATP-PC energy system, mainly because you are doing low reps with really heavy loads and then resting for whatever is left of that minute. On the flip side, we have AMRAP, as many reps as possible within a set time. Completely different beast. AMRAP builds muscular endurance, metabolic stress, and fatigue resistance by tapping into your glycolytic system. If your gains have hit a wall recently, it's very likely because you're just randomly mixing these up, instead of purposely using EMOMs for strength and AMRAPs for endurance. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, a perfect example of high-intensity, time-capped volume is this 20-minute kettlebell session created by fitness creators Alex Crockford and Tom Pito. It's brutal. They use a grueling interval of 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. They combine these heavy compound movements like deadlifts and thrusters, and then right when you think you get a break, they immediately strip away the weight for a bodyweight drop set during the quote-unquote rest period. It forces the muscles to hit mechanical failure incredibly fast. It just proves that you really often only need a single weight and 20 minutes to achieve absolute maximum intensity. Which brings us to Section 5, the science of volume, the peak of progression. All right, so to truly optimize our adaptations without wasting a single minute, we have to look at the data. And there is this fascinating, very recent 2025 meta-analysis by Pelland and colleagues published in Sports Medicine. They looked at 67 different studies encompassing over 2,000 participants. Their main goal? To scientifically validate the true dose-response relationship of weekly sets in training frequency. And, spoiler alert for anyone out there who thinks they need to live in the gym, more is definitely not always better.
One of the most fascinating takeaways from this study is this really novel concept called the fractional quantification method. Think about it like this. Historically, if you did a set of bench presses, people would count that as one full set for the chest and also one full set for the triceps, right? But these researchers found that quantifying those indirect or synergist muscle sets as exactly 0.5 sets is vastly more accurate for predicting growth. So what does that mean for you? It means if you're relying on compound movements to save time, you can now accurately measure your true workload. No more overestimating your volume and completely burning yourself out. And this builds into some really incredible ultimate findings. The data strongly proves a nonlinear dose-response curve. In everyday terms, it means you eventually hit a steep point of diminishing returns. Going from 0 sets to 10 sets is going to give you massive benefits. But jumping from 20 sets to 30 sets, the added benefit there is microscopic compared to the extra time you are spending. Those endless hours in the gym simply stop producing proportional results. The absolute most crucial takeaway here is that efficiency wins out. The meta-regression specifically noted that while muscle size, or hypertrophy, has diminishing returns, the drop-off for pure strength is actually even more pronounced as volume increases. This completely dismantles the old-school myth that getting stronger requires endless hours and endless sets. It just doesn't. A targeted, intense, and properly quantified session will get you exactly where you need to be, and it gives you your precious time back. Finally, Section 6. Redefining your routine. No more excuses. Wow, we have really covered a lot of ground today. We've journeyed all the way from doing simple calf raises while waiting for the office kettle to boil to manipulating ATPC systems with heavy EMOMs, all the way up to utilizing cutting-edge fractional volume tracking just to make sure we don't waste a single rep. The bottom line is clear. Science firmly supports short, smart, intense exercise over long, inefficient gym sessions. So I want to leave you with this one thought to chew on. If a meticulously planned 7-minute circuit or accurately counting a 0.5 fractional set is really enough to fundamentally change your physiology, how might you rethink those brief, hidden pockets of free time in your schedule today? Dive in, optimize your time, and I'll see you on the next explainer.